I'm Adrian Seet, and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. Subsidies can continue, but only for the needy, says Prime Minister. And Cabinet reshuffle, BN to give full support to Dato Sri Anwar. Thanks for joining us. Malaysia is amongst the countries that provide subsidies that are enjoyed by all, including the rich as well as foreigners. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said this was why it was important for the government to restructure its subsidies so that only the targeted groups would benefit from it. Speaking at the launch of the national-level Madani Medical Scheme and Madani Afiat Program at Buletin Sultan Azlan Shah in Ipoh, Perak on Sunday, the Prime Minister said the government would still be providing subsidies. However, rationalisation was necessary to ensure that government aid would only benefit groups which truly needed help.
Kalau tanya saya apakah subsidi boleh diteruskan? Ya. Apakah subsidi minyak boleh diteruskan? Ya. Tetapi janganlah subsidi kepada berjuta orang asing pun dapat subsidi. Orang Singapura masuk Malaysia pun subsidi minyak. Orang Thailand masuk Malaysia pun kenderaan dia subsidi minyak. Orang paling kaya yang ada Mercedes 45 pun kita bayar subsidi minyak.
The Prime Minister added that in the Madani budget that will be tabled on October 13th, the government will continue prioritising health and education issues. And amongst the matters to be focused on are the building of health clinics and solving the problem of congestion in government hospitals throughout the country.
Isu kesihatan terutama klinik-klinik ini diberi keutamaan termasuk rumah sakit. Kita lihat umpamanya bila saya pergi ke hospital Tengku Aminah, dia sesaknya tu luar biasa. Dan kebanyakan hospital kita sesak. Jadi ada orang kritik kita. Oh, dia kata sejak kita jadi kerajaan, Anwar jadi Perdana Menteri, hospital sesak. Hospital sesak dah bertahun-tahun dah. Tetapi oleh kerana tindakan itu agak tidak pantas dan peruntukan tidak cukup, maka sampailah masalah yang begitu rumit ada sekarang.
Meanwhile, the launching of the Madani Medical Scheme aims to assist the B40 group in obtaining acute primary care services or outpatient treatment at nearby private general practitioner clinics. With an allocation of 100 million ringgit for the implementation of the scheme this year, it is expected to benefit some 700,000 households. As at September 29th, a total of 112,887 households have benefited from the scheme, with 181,460 patients receiving outpatient treatment. Government-related companies or GLCs need to be managed efficiently without deviating from the original goal of their establishment, with a focus on the interests of the Bumiputras and the community. Dato Sri Anwar explained that many GLCs have now turned towards profitability due to the impact of the changes in management as well as other factors.
Tubuh syarikat, salah urus, salah tadbir, rugi. Kerajaan terpaksa bergantung, bantu, kemudian ada desakan baru, bantu lagi Bumiputera, tubuh lagi syarikat baru, kemudian kita ikut jalur yang sama yang tidak akan membantu. Saya harap sudah perlu ada anjakan di mana bukan sahaja pemimpin-pemimpin kerajaan dipertanggungjawabkan, bermula dengan Jabatan Menteri, tetapi juga pengurusan syarikat Bumiputera harus juga dipertanggungjawabkan. Untuk faham bahawa ada tugas asas mereka yang mereka harus tahu, urus dengan baik dan jaga pegangan itu supaya tidak berulang kelemahan-kelemahan yang berlaku yang lalu.
The Prime Minister said this when opening the 2023 Malaysian Unit Trust Week MSAM in Bertam, Pulau Pinang. Also present were Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow and Permodalan Nasional Berhad PNB Group Chairman Tan Sri Arshad Rajatun Uda. The Prime Minister said that PNB, for instance, is one of the institutions that has succeeded in strengthening the economy of the Bumiputras and the community. He added that with a good record, company integrity and good management shown by PNB, the enlightenment and knowledge on shares and savings should be channeled towards schools, and that a discussion between PNB and the Education and Higher Education Ministries to expand on the matter will be held soon. The 2023 MACC, that provides various investment, education, activities and exhibitions, is being held until October the 8th at Seet Fontaines. Earlier, the Prime Minister paid a site visit to SK Pematang Tokandu in Pematang Pauh, Pulau Pinang that was partly damaged due to a fire last month. The federal government has approved an initial allocation of approximately 1.9 million ringgit for the reconstruction of classrooms in the damaged 4-storey building. The Public Works Department has also prepared an initial report on the damaged structure to expedite the approval of an initial fund for clean-up work at the affected site.
Dia jumlah awal, belum kunjungan daripada JKR Pusat untuk mengesahkan, tapi sekitar 1.9 juta. Okey.
So dah kata dijangka sebelum akhir sesi 20.
Darah saya kalau boleh bagi tahu Guru Besar tadi, kalau laporan JKR siap minggu depan kita open tender proses. Ini kerajaan sekarang ni dah cepat.
So akan dijangka beroperasi balik?
Itu terpulang pada JKR dan kontraktor. Tapi kita nak buat fast track, mana tidak proses tender biasa, dia tender terhad supaya dipercepatkan, tidak ganggu pelajaran pelajar terutama kerana sekarang ini 2 sesi dan sekolah agak sesak.
On another matter, Datuk Sri Anwar has stressed that the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, must be free from executive influence. In a Facebook post, the Prime Minister said MACC should also stand firm on the principle of not only rejecting corruption, but also intensifying efforts to combat the menace. He said the country or desired system cannot be developed without efforts to reject and bury the culture of corruption at all levels of society. He also expressed confidence in the ability of the MACC to fulfill this noble ambition for the sake of the people and the country. The Prime Minister also congratulated MACC on the occasion of its 56th anniversary on Sunday. Amidst rumours of a possible cabinet reshuffle, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said that his party will give its full support towards any decision made by the Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. He indicated that a change in the cabinet was inevitable in order to fill the post of the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister following the passing of Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub. In the case of a possible cabinet reshuffle, the UMNO President and Barisan Nasional Chairman expressed hope that the Federal Territory Ministry would be reintroduced.
Pasti berlaku sebab satu jawatan telah kosong disebabkan oleh Allahyarham Datuk Seri Salahuddin telah meninggal dunia, kan, mesti ada, ya. Saya fikir dalam waktu yang terdekat. Tapi saya mengharapkan sebagai Presiden UMNO dan pengurusi Barisan Nasional, saya harapkan Kementerian Wilayah Persekutuan itu diwujudkan semula.
Asked to comment on rumours that he would be appointed to head the Home Ministry following the reshuffle, Ahmad Zahid said he was prepared to shoulder any responsibility entrusted to him. He was speaking to the media after attending the special Putrajaya UMNO leadership gathering. Also present were UMNO Vice President Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani and UMNO Treasurer General Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor. In the meantime, UMNO Vice President Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani has urged all parties to give their full support and trust towards the Prime Minister in determining whether there was any need for a change in the ministerial lineup. He said that as the Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar has the exclusive decision in ensuring that he always has a strong team to assist him in administering the country. The Titi Wangsa MP said all parties, including leaders in the current government, needed to carry out their existing duties and roles as best as possible to help steer the country. Referring to himself as an example, Johari said as a Member of Parliament, he supports the unity government and shoulders the responsibility as the chairman of the government's Backbenchers Club and chief of the 1MDB task force for the recovery of the stolen funds.
Dalam mana-mana kerajaan, Perdana Menteri mesti ada dia punya exclusive decision. Kita tidak boleh memberi sebarang tekanan kepada Perdana Menteri. Sebab kita semua dah pilih dia jadi Perdana Menteri dan kita kesokong dia. Dan saya secara peribadi, saya sebagai ahli parlimen, saya menyokong kerajaan perpaduan Saya juga diberi tanggungjawab untuk menjadi pengurusi backbencher untuk defend kerajaan perpaduan. Dan di samping itu juga saya juga memainkan peranan sebagai pengurusi recovery untuk YNDB. Bukan pasal jenayah atau recovery. So ini adalah peranan yang saya mainkan di luar. Ini secara tak langsung kita menyokong kerajaan perpaduan ini. Ya. Jadi kita kena biarkan Perdana Menteri buat keputusan dia. Itu sama ada dia nak buat rombakan atau tidak, itu hak mutlak Perdana Menteri.
The former second finance minister added that the country was already facing the heat of the global economy and the unity government should be given ample time to steer the country to greater heights.
Kita kena ambil kira bahawa kerajaan perpaduan ini baru 10 bulan. Bila 10 bulan, kita berdepan dengan ekonomi global yang besar. Kemudian kita juga berdepan dengan cara untuk menyesuaikan bekerja dengan parti-parti yang ada dalam kerajaan perpaduan. Contoh DAP, PKR, UMNO, lagi Amanah. Ini semua adalah salah satu daripada transition yang perlu kita lalui dan saya rasa kalau bagi masa yang secukupnya hingga akhir tahun 2027, saya ingat kita akan nampak dan kita boleh menilai kerajaan perpaduan punya kebesaran dari segi mentadbir negara.
As such, he said the Prime Minister needs to be given space in the effort to realise the Malaysia Madani agenda together with the appointed ministers in the unity government.
Ada, ini dalam politik mana ada pinang-pinang. Dia politik ni apabila dia jadi Perdana Menteri, dia akan susun dia punya barisan dan dia punya pasukan. Dia macam main bola lah. Dia tak boleh main seorang-seorang, dia kena ada pasukan. Kerajaan begitu juga. Kerajaan ini dia kena ada pasukan. Jadi kadang-kadang pasukan ni masing-masing ada dia punya kepakaran masing-masing. Tapi dia kena ambil masa untuk menyesuaikan dari segi perjalanan kerajaan. Sebab itu tidak ada paksaan. Dan kita juga tidak boleh paksa kepada mana-mana Perdana Menteri untuk buat apa yang dia memikirkan lebih baik kepada negara. Pasal kita kena bagi masa. 10 bulan ni terlalu pendek dari segi untuk mentadbir kerajaan.
After this breather, bomb detonated near Turkey's government buildings. Stay with us.
Nikmati.
We're back with news from the foreign front. 2 terrorists carried out a bomb attack in front of Turkey's Interior Ministry building in Ankara on Sunday, just hours before lawmakers were set to return to work after summer break. The ministry said the 2 attackers arrived in a commercial vehicle at about 9:30 a.m. local time, stopping in front of the entrance gate of the General Directorate of Security before detonating an explosive, leaving 2 officers wounded. One of the attackers blew himself up and the other was neutralized. No party has claimed responsibility for the attack, and an investigation has been launched into the incident. The targeted district is home to several other ministries and the Turkish parliament that was due to reopen on Sunday with an address from President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Now, the U.S. Congress has voted to avert a government shutdown late on Saturday after lawmakers agreed to a last-minute measure that would keep the government funded until mid-November but leaves out billions of dollars of aid for Ukraine. Now, the measure, officially called H.R. 5860, was signed into law by President Joe Biden, avoiding a shutdown that would have followed hundreds of thousands of workers and stopped basic government functions. The bill allows the government to stay open for 45 days, giving the House and Senate until November 17th to finish their funding legislation. However, the loss of the Ukraine aid devastated lawmakers of both parties, who have vowed to support President Volodymyr Zelensky after his recent Washington visit. The House will resume its work on Monday. The chaos came amidst the 71-page short-term bill crafted by McCarthy that allocated disaster relief funds but did not include new financial assistance for Ukraine's ongoing war with Russia. In Spain, at least 13 people were killed while 4 others were injured in a fire in adjoining nightclubs in the southeastern city of Murcia. Now, according to officials, the injured were 2 women and 2 men aged between 22 and 45, while the deceased has yet to be identified. The fire, which broke out at about 6 a.m. local time on Sunday, saw the building sustaining significant damage. Authorities managed to control the fire 2 hours later and are currently looking for those still missing, with the death toll expected to rise. In the meantime, those injured have been sent to a nearby hospital for treatment, mostly due to smoke inhalation. An investigation into the incident has been launched. On to sports. The 2022 Hangzhou Asian Games. Now, Malaysia bagged 2 more medals on Saturday, taking the tally to 20. The silver and bronze medal came from the diving event. Take a look. In the diving event, duo Wendy Ng Yan Yi and Nur Dabita Sabri delivered the silver medal in the women's 3-meter springboard synchro final on Sunday. The pair finished the 5-dive contest 270.27 points behind China's reigning world champions Cheng Ya-ni and Chen Yi-wen, while South Korean pair Park Har-eum and Kim Soo-ji took home the bronze medal. Meanwhile, Bertrand Rodriguez and Enrique McCarthy-Harrell won another bronze for the diving event in the men's 3-meter springboard synchro final. The duo reclaimed the bronze, last won by Ui Zi Liang and Chiu Yi Wei at the 2014 Incheon Games, when they posted a 6-dive total of 386.07 points. On to football, the 20 more matches took place on Sunday night. Both Perak FC and Kelantan United FC recorded a 1-0 win over Negeri Sembilan FC and Penang FC. At the Tuanku Abdul Rahman Stadium, Perak's only goal of the match came 51 minutes into the game through Serbian Luka Milunovic's effort. Although both teams tried hard to add to their tally, the result remained 1-0 until the final whistle. With the victory, Perak climbed to 11th spot with 19 points, while Negeri Sembilan remained in 9th place with 21 points. And more to come. 2-year-old drowns after slipping into fish pond. Stay with us.
Be back after the break.
Don't go away, because Money Matters will be back shortly.
For the past half an hour, you've been with us on Money Matters.
I'm Zahir Kelvin Ong Abdullah, and this is Money Matters.
Money Matters with Zahir Kelvin Ong Abdullah, Azaria Tagaya, Muhammad Ahmad Hamdan, and Anita Wu, Saturdays at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
Staying with us. Now, food security is the cornerstone of a societal well-being, ensuring that a nation's populace has reliable access to safe, sufficient and nutritious food. Despite having a well-established agricultural sector, Malaysia still grapples with significant changes and challenges that hinders its ability to achieve full food security and self-sufficiency. Nightline's Alif Yunus has the report.
Based on the recent Global Food Security Index (GFSI) in 2022, Malaysia is ranked 41st out of 113 countries with the prevalence of undernourishment of 2.5%, where food security significantly impacts both daily life and the economy. Economist Liu Chi-Yung also emphasized its multifaceted influence on the country's economy, where food's availability, affordability and stability is of concern.
When food security is compromised, this can actually affect the national economy, because if we increase our dependence on imported food due to the weaknesses of our Malaysian ringgit, it will not be affordable to a lot of Malaysian citizens. Also, we need to understand that agriculture is an important sector in Malaysia, and if we do not improve the productivity of this sector, then this can also influence the food security situation on the country.
According to University Putra Malaysia UPM Institute of Tropical Agriculture and Food Security Research Fellow Datin Paduka Fatimah Mohamed Arshad, the recent food security crisis is due to the imbalance in fundamental factors as well as other technical factors in the global scale.
As for the fundamental factors, supply is challenged by a combination of multifunctional factors such as pandemics, supply chain disruption, climate change, conflict of Russia and Ukraine, which disrupted wheat supply and pushed up energy prices and inflationary effect of the pandemic. Technical factors, largely trade protectionism by some countries who turn inward, such as India, which banned non-basmati rice export. This policy sends waves to importing countries, including Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and many African countries.
In light of these challenges, Fatimah suggested a food-first policy where the government could prioritise more on food production due to the decline of major crops in palm oil, rubber and cocoa industries. Commenting on short-term measures for the rice supply issue that the country is currently facing, Fatimah suggested a data-driven monitoring policy to ensure a smooth rice supply, which could also enable public reporting on unethical rice mixing practices as well as aid government monitoring. By involving both the government and the public, Malaysia can work towards building a resilient and secure food system that ensures the well-being of all its citizens. Alif Yunus, TV3.
In Terengganu, a 2-year-old girl drowned after slipping into a fishing pond in Bukit Besi Dungun on Saturday. In the 5:15 p.m. incident, Nur Rania Faizah Muhammad Rafi was found unconscious by the pond keeper before passing away while receiving treatment at the Dungun hospital at 8 p.m. Her father, 39-year-old Muhammad Rafi Ibrahim, said that he was fishing when the incident happened, while his wife, 31-year-old Fatin Hanani Ali, was breastfeeding their 2-month-old son at a different location. Muhammad Rafi noticed his daughter playing with her 5-year-old brother near the pond, but later discovered that she was missing. The pond keeper, who was informed of the missing child, then jumped in to retrieve the child after spotting her red clothing in another nearby pond. Efforts to revive the girl were made before she was taken to the Bukit Besi Health Clinic for treatment. The victim was later referred to the Dungun hospital before her death was confirmed. Dungun Police Chief Acting Superintendent Maizura Abdul Qadir confirmed the incident. In Perlis, a 38-year-old man who fatally stabbed his wife at Jalan Padang Nyo, Arau, has been remanded for 7 days to assist with police investigations. The retired soldier was believed to have murdered the 31-year-old nurse at Tuanku Fauzia Hospital in Kanga by stabbing her in the left side of her chest with a knife at their residence on Saturday. The remand order was issued at 8:45 a.m. by Magistrate Siti Nur Hasliza Mat Ali at the Kanga Magistrates Court after the suspect was brought to court at around 8:30 a.m. Arau District Police Chief Superintendent Ahmad Mohsin Matrudi confirmed the suspect's remand. It was earlier reported that the victim's body was found in the bedroom in a pool of blood and covered with a thick blanket after her husband surrendered himself to the Perlis Contingent Police Headquarters at about 10 a.m. The suspect was believed to have been in an argument with the victim due to jealousy. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for murder. As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look at around 1,200 drones that took off and lit up the night sky in Shenzhen and Hong Kong on Saturday, greeting holidaymakers with a beautiful scenery of a dazzling show of lights as the 8th day of the Golden Week holiday kicked off on Friday. With that, I'm Adrian Seet. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.